Good morning, world. Welcome to day four of Vlogmas. I got off to a decent start. I went and saw some old coworkers and friends today, right before I went to the gym. The one thing that I was ranting about this morning was the fact that it takes so long in the mornings to get from place to place. And basically, it's a bit tough because when it comes to traffic, people just, I talked about this yesterday, but people do not know how to drive. And people just slow down for random reasons, whether they're not paying attention or things like that. And I know I have a bad habit probably of doing that as well, but good Lord, it causes way too much. And then Texas construction has to be quicker. I don't know. My girlfriend was telling me yesterday that I-20 has a 7-year project. And that to me is absolutely crazy. But yeah, let's get going on the road. I will talk about my lift on the way and what thoughts are kind of going on, and we'll kind of go from there. But once again, good morning, world. Welcome back to the vlog. Happy day 4 of Vlogmas. It's been an eventful day so far. Once again, I stopped by my old workplace to catch up with a few of my coworkers, say hi and things along those lines. And it was very nice to catch up with old friends. You know that feeling when you haven't seen somebody in a while and you just have so much to say to each other, and it's like the conversation might never end, and of course it does, but it's just a really nice feeling to be able to know that you can it's like you don't lose a beat, you haven't missed a beat. So it was always fun to do so. One thing that I thought a lot about yesterday and going into today's lift, I know it's a little bit later than I'm used to. It's about 11:42 right now. I got to the gym around 10:30-ish. So it was about an hour-long workout or so. One thing that I've thought a lot about is how much my social anxiety comes into play when it comes to the environments that, although I'm so used to being in, I still don't fully feel like I belong. And maybe we can chalk this up to imposter syndrome, or you can chalk this up to social anxiety, but it is one of those things where I realize that it hits me kind of hard. And so yesterday was the little, now that I'm looking back on it, the little anxiety attack that I experienced while I was in the gym, just kind of suddenly. But today it kind of lingered in the sense that I walked in and I was still really nervous. And for that reason, because of that, I know I told myself that I need to push through my anxiety and work through it to be better. I didn't bring the little magic arm that I use to get different angles that are a little bit cooler like I did like I did yesterday. And it wasn't necessarily a bad thing. It helped me focus more on my lifts and to be able to make sure I stayed efficient and always pushed, which is realistically the main goal. But I did realize that I was like, not having this made me feel less anxious, but I did want to be and use the creative angles that I kept thinking about throughout the rest of my workouts. So it was a win-lose situation because I wasn't anxious as much today, but I missed out on some cooler things. And that's one thing about my anxiety that I hate, is the fact that I miss out on certain experiences or learning moments because I get too nervous to do it. One thing that I wanted to talk about in today's Vlogmas episode, especially because I've been experiencing little bouts of it for the past 2 days or so, is social anxiety. And it's a little bit of a mix between, once again, social anxiety and imposter syndrome. But at Absolute Recomp, at the gym that I currently go to, there are points and times where I feel like I don't belong. And it is one of those aspects in which you can't force an environment to accept you. You almost have to mold to the environment that you're in because that's the norm. You almost have to assimilate into it. And with social anxiety as a whole, well, first, let's preface. Social anxiety is the anxiety or phobia that you feel in social situations, whether it's discomfort or shyness or some sort of disruption that causes you to feel a little bit scared within your mind in social situations. And you can experience this anywhere. You know, if you've ever been to a party where you didn't know everybody and you felt a little bit nervous to go, social anxiety. When you ask your friends, oh, that sounds really fun, let's go there, but who's going? Could be your social anxiety. It's little things like that. And so in essence, I feel a lot of that feeling when I go to the gym sometimes. Mainly at gyms where I don't feel fully, or mainly in gyms where I feel like I don't fully belong. And I've tried to pinpoint exactly why I feel like I don't belong sometimes. Sometimes it's the clothes, sometimes it's the fact that I don't look the same in terms of body build. Sometimes it's just the fact that I feel like I lollygag too much. You know, all these little things add up. And at this gym in particular, I joined it because I needed a different environment to be able to feel more progression and to really lock in. And for the most part, I do lock in, but then it feels out of place sometimes when I don't feel like I'm fitting to the mold that gym is asking for or wanting. And so it just feels a little off, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. Once again, this is something in which I have to mold to the environment. The environment can't necessarily just mold to me because I didn't create it. If we tie this back into counseling, I create the environment for the client to be able to feel safe, warm, and accepted in. And this gym in particular does not do that because it doesn't necessarily ask, or it doesn't beg for you to be accepting, and it doesn't beg to be accepted. It is a place where this is what the environment is, and this is where you can fit in. And that's a bit scary. It's a bit intimidating. And so for the most part, when I go there, I feel little bouts of this social anxiety, and I feel it in social situations as a whole. And it makes it a little bit tough to kind of work through sometimes. Now, this isn't to say I'm gonna stop going there. This isn't to say that, you know, this is really throwing me off my game. It really isn't. I had a really good lift today, and I felt really good for the most part. I felt like I progressed, I added weight every single lift, and it felt really, really productive. And it put me in something that I've been looking for throughout my entire Vlogmas so far is that flow state that I felt on day 1 or day 2. And I'm consistently looking for that flow state now, whether it's in my line of work or whether it's at the gym, or realistically anything. Like, to feel that connected with whatever you're occupying yourself with at the time is such a gratifying feeling because it feels right. And maybe it's all of these little wrong experiences that I feel sometimes, whether it's my social anxiety or into something we'll get into later, my imposter syndrome, that really do make my flow state feel so much more gratifying. We have a shorter day today. I only have counseling from 3 to 6. I still have, I think, 1 note from yesterday to finish. And that means that I'm going to really utilize today to really apply myself to taking care of myself too. When you have bouts of anxiety, or when you're working through bouts of anxiety, we often don't realize that our brain is putting itself into overdrive. When you think that fast, that quick, and that heavy all at once, your brain, like any other muscle, is going to be tired, especially after yesterday's little bout and then the little bit of leftover today. I really need to be able to kind of take it slow and really feel like I can be okay. So today's gonna be a day where I take it easy. Still gonna fully apply myself to everything, still gonna make sure that I can be who I needed when I was younger, but also to be sure that I take care of myself, because reapplying who I needed to be when I was younger is someone that can tell me to slow down and take my time mentally when I know that today, or that I've been tired. So that's what we'll do. We're gonna take care of ourselves. While I still have a bit of time in the car, I wanted to brainstorm up some ways that I can really attack my social anxiety to make sure that I work through it while being mindful that it's okay to have this. It's okay to be socially anxious sometimes. One way is understanding that I don't have to look the same and telling myself that and talking to myself that. A second way is going with friends. I work out a lot by myself because I have a differing schedule than a lot of my friends do currently. I mainly work in the afternoons. A lot of my friends start up in the mornings. So a lot of my workouts are usually solo unless I'm with Chris V. But I know going with friends can make the burden feel a little bit easier. A third one is I can network and slowly get to know people at the gym that I go to, so it doesn't feel as daunting to step into a place where everybody is a stranger, you know? If I make friends at the gym, then nobody will be a stranger, you know? I'll have a few friends that I can, you know, say hi to and things along those lines. A fourth one would be to really try and find if I could just lose myself in the lift. Because when I'm full on focused in what I need to be doing, then realistically, the outside distractions, don't take as much of an impact. And then finally, the fifth one I'm gonna leave open, and I'll leave open to you, friends. Do y'all ever get socially anxious at the gym? And if y'all do, what do you do? How do you get over it? As a counselor, I know I have methods and coping mechanisms and things like that, but I wanna know what works for you guys. And maybe I'll utilize it. And heck, I'll probably steal it. Just kidding, maybe. But let me know what works for you, and we can go from there. All right, here we go. Day 3. Day 4. Oh my gosh, I don't even know my own days. Here we go. Day 4 of seeing if Jetty hits the curb or not. Oh. Oh. Let's go! 3-day streak. Didn't hit the curb. Let's get something to eat. I'm so hungry right now. All right, friends, before we head out to counseling, here's today's hat. This is the Mavericks with the Luka Doncic autograph embroidered on the side. I got this as a, I believe, either a birthday or Christmas gift from my little brother. It's one of the coolest gifts I've ever received. Once again, you know me, I love, you kind of know me, but you know that I love hats, and it's synonymous with who I am as a counselor now. I just always wear a hat every day, and this is one of the coolest ones that I wear, and I've got a lot of compliments and stuff about it, so very cool. Thank you to my little brother for that, and this hat's fire. So off to counseling, got to get a bit more stuff done for the day, but then we'll go from there. So see y'all in a little bit. Bring me love this Christmas, 'cause I feel good this year. It's been so cold since you've been gone. This winter seems so wrong. I've been listening to this song almost obsessively for now the last day, because this popped into my head yesterday when my girlfriend and I were on our date, and I asked her, I was like, what's your favorite Christmas song? And she didn't quite know. But I know my top 3 as a whole, or my top 3 are 1, Bring Me Love by John Legend, which I found last year, and it's been such a bomb. Number 2 has been This Christmas by CeeLo Green. Yeah, the CeeLo Green version, such a banger. And then number 3 is Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays by NSYNC. There's just something about those 3 songs that it just works, it clicks, it's so good. I love it. But yeah, those 3 are my top 3 Christmas songs. Let me know in the comments below what your top 3 Christmas songs are, because high-key, it's almost, I know that Christmas songs are segmented only during a specific time of the year, right? It's a holiday genre, but it's criminal sometimes that you can't, or that it's frowned upon to listen to Christmas songs not during Christmas. And I get it, I have my bouts where I'm like, why are we listening to Christmas songs in the middle of March? But then I really listen to the Christmas songs again, and they are so, so good. So yeah, leave me your favorite Christmas song down below, and let me know which ones. Yeah, leave me your favorite Christmas song down below, and I'll check it out. And maybe one of the Vlogmas videos, I just sit and I listen to people's Christmas song favorites. So Mariah Carey broke out of the ice, and the music is back, and it's glorious. Bring me love this Christmas, 'cause I've been good this year. Bring me love this Christmas. One other thought that I have prior to just really locking in on the drive is my windows aren't tinted on my car, and sometimes I wonder, because you can clearly see into my car, it's low enough to where trucks and 18-wheelers and usually other cars are able to see right in. I wonder if anybody sees it and they flick me off or something, and I don't realize or pay enough attention to the footage in the background to notice. But it makes me laugh thinking about it, because I could just be driving by whoever and I don't realize it, but they're just flicking me off in the mirror, because either they think people who vlog are annoying, or maybe they're just not having the best day. But I think this is something that I think about, and maybe I'll go through footage that I haven't used and see if anybody flicks me off in the camera. Now, I'm not saying that if you were to somehow see me on the road here in Texas and you see that I'm vlogging, you don't have to flick me off, but I think it'd be really funny too. And if I didn't notice it at first and then noticed it in post, that'd be hilarious. Maybe it becomes like a little Jetty Moves inside joke with us and the friends, But yeah, something I think about. All right, friends, that was day 4 of Vlogmas. Today was a harder counseling day. I definitely felt like I had to push my clients a little bit harder today, more than most days. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but I have such a calm and safe and warm approach that sometimes when it comes to pushing my clients and having to be a little bit more firm when it comes to responses and treatment, it feels odd. And maybe it's because I don't do it enough, but it's definitely a different feeling compared to the usual laid back, calm demeanor that I have. But I can't complain. Once again, I'm grateful to be doing the thing that I love. I am grateful to be someone who I needed when I was younger. And tomorrow we're gonna hit a very hard lift the best that we can. So we'll keep moving. We go from there. Merry Vlogmas. Happy day 4. And I'll see you tomorrow.